This is, I mean, I've played some jokes.
Especially in Miami.
That's just stupid, man. I mean, dude, don't mess with an RA. Those guys are pissed to begin with. They're working for free.
The RAs were always a pain in the ass.
Hated them.
I mean, I went to the University of South Florida. The dorms there, back in the day, it was just alpha and beta. They had these two dorms.
Oh, God,
and
what
they were
shitholes.
Yeah, so you've been there.
Oh,
You went to USF too,
yeah.
right?
I didn't stay in the dorm, but I remember
Total
those.
shitholes. After I left, they built all these nicer dorms. These places were so terrible. You were lucky if your air conditioner worked.
Oh.
You had these
they
like
were
window units for your air.
So it was like prison.
You had shared bathrooms.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. I hated it. I was
Shared
miserable.
bathrooms are horrible.
Oh, I was
dude.
miserable when
Four dudes per bathroom. Usually like two guys a room.
Oh,
and
you're
then two
waiting until
rooms.
a dude's in the shower and you flush the toilet because then it makes the
Yeah.
shower water go scalding hot, right? And you get
Yeah.
somebody screaming
And
in
then
the shower.
all the new ones they built, you said, they're all 4 bedrooms. Each bedroom has its own bathroom.
Right.
They just share the common space.
Yeah,
And
that's
I-
like
good.
night and day. I saw those
Yeah.
after the fact. I'm like, oh, now you build these frickin' things. But the RAs were such a pain in the ass. Everybody was so closely confined. And, that was when you learned the trick with the toilet paper roll and the fabric softener sheet.
That's
Oh,
called
yeah.
that's called the puffler.
Oh, is that what it's called?
It's called the puffler.
when you're
yeah,
smoking weed. and
I
you
thought it was
don't
called
want-
the doob tube.
No, we call we use.
tube.
Well, it's obviously it was invented in many different places. Everybody brought their own name to it. We call it the puffler because we're kind of like a muffler.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of smoke out the end, but it smells like country
More like a
freshness.
catalytic converter.
It's a good point, but we didn't know that much about cars back then. I got to be honest. Yeah. So the puffler worked.
It did work.
It was a great invention, man.
What I also found with RAs, and you know what? This was actually this learned trait, this learned behavior, helped me later in the business world. That was when I really began to fully understand bribery and winning favor.
Oh,
what you
absolutely.
do with the RA is you get them in good graces with you. Sometimes you slip them some money. Maybe you hook them up with some bitches.
Well, girls.
Yeah, you hook 'em up with some
because our
bitches.
raids are nerds, and they're not going to get laid
Right,
without
and,
some
and
help.
then they leave you alone.
Absolutely.
So that's you don't need the puffler after that. They're going to cover for you if they find 23.7 grams of sugar, and you're good to go.
I don't know if they're going to cover for you on that one. That's quite
You got to pay him a little bit more.
quite a bust. I'll tell you a funny story.
It will if he was doing those real lines the night before with you.
Well, absolutely, and
That's what you do. You just get them on camera. Like, I love that show. Have y'all seen that show Ray Donovan on Showtime?
Love that show.
Yeah, where he's like the fixer.
I haven't watched it, but I've heard really good things.
He
about
does
it.
all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff like that. Basically, gets people in with stuff so he can then blackmail them in the future to get what he wants.
And
it's
he's
very
basically he's the guy that covers up stuff that happens in Hollywood. So it's athletes, it's actors.
Yeah.
When they get in a bind,
When they
with
got a dead
something-
hooker, he comes in. And,
That's right. He comes in and,
Yeah.
and gets rid of the hooker.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, which you should never kill hookers.
But
Public safety announcement from the Crane Mission Show: don't kill your hookers.
Pay them, get them out of there. Don't
Yeah.
kill them, and don't
But-
stiff them. I mean that
Well,
backfired. on
go
Warren
ahead and
Sapp.
stiff them, but pay them.
Well, stiff them, then pay
Then
them.
pay them,
Yeah.
and then send them on a cab.
I mean, not paying them backfired on Warren Sapp when that happened to him. But you guys are talking about the puffler. We're talking about smoking weed in college. Well,
Right.
an Indiana school in the news now. They're trying to reach out to the youth, to the Utes, as Joe Pesci would say. And a Hancock County school has decided that there's a new way to fight teen drug use, which they say is a problem that is growing rapidly. News to me because I thought that problem has already been a huge issue.
Well,
I don't know how it's growing any bigger
Yeah, I
than
thought
it
it
already
I thought
was.
it matured already.
But this school came out with what they call marijuana goggles. And the way these things work, when you put these on, it actually affects your ability to see the color red, which is totally bogus. Okay, this is the dumbest, most bullshit.
I can see
idea
red
I've ever
right
heard.
now, dude.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Oh.
I mean, allegedly.
Well, that answers my question. When I went to pick you up today, I was wondering if that was a new cologne, but I guess it wasn't.
No, that's an old cologne. I've had that for about 3 weeks.
Eau de Hydro.
Oh, yeah, something like that.
So you were having problems seeing red the whole way here. Then you couldn't see any of the stop signs, right?
No, I get pissed off all the time. I'm seeing red. No, that's ridiculous. First of all, there's nothing. I've warned. Look, I mean, maybe the first time you smoke or something like that, dude. But come on, man.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? Though it's ridiculous.
You
It
sound
really,
like Keyshawn Johnson.
I did.
there.
That's my Keyshawn impression. I don't. It's ridiculous. It's almost as stupid as Reefer Madness from the '50s. It's like,
Oh God.
call pot what it is. And here's what I would tell kids if you don't want them to smoke pot. Okay, if you have marijuana in your system, here's the jobs you will never have. Okay,
Yeah.
so you want to be a pilot? Not happening. You want to go in the military? Not happening. You want to be an FBI agent? Not happening. You want to do anything
You are wrong.
other than...
You're wrong.
Now, the FBI, you can have smoked weed.
No, you're wrong.
Can't have it in your system.
You're wrong.
What?
This is where you need a fall guy, or in this case, a piss guy. Look, hey, you and I have been through this, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
We may or may not have had a conversation about a certain person we know that needed a job that required a piss test, and you just find the one friend that you have that can piss clean.
I think I don't recall this at all.
It may have involved an Elmer's glue bottle that you tape to your leg with a thermometer.
I'm kind of hazy.
You're fuzzy on
Yeah,
this?
I'm a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
I can't see red either. So
saying.
I don't know.
I'm just saying you can indulge and then get the job if
know,
you play it right.
Maybe that's why weed works so well for so many people and keeps them calm, because then they can't see red.
Right, they're not angry.
They can't get angry.
You're right.
Maybe that's what it is.
I think that's part of it. But look, man, the fact of the matter is, if you don't want kids to smoke weed,
Just be real about
well,
it.
no, let them try it, for God's sakes, and be like, you really don't have to worry about 100% of the kids. You should let them all try it, and 40% is going to like it, and those are the people you really need to center all your attention on.
Yeah.
The other 60% is going to be like, I felt kind of funny, and I got nauseous.
Actually, if you really want people to not do drugs at all, then take away all life's problems and all the stress,
Nope, even then.
and then there'll be no drugs.
No, I disagree.
Actually, that's not
No,
true.
no,
You'll
yeah.
still
That's
do
not.
drugs.
Dude, look it's really about educating people on this, man, and making you put a stigma on something, and then it makes it so bad that people feel so bad for doing it that they even get worse. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying you make everything legal. I'm not really to go Amsterdam style. I mean, with the weeds for sure, but with the other drugs, I can't really condone like other stuff being legal. Heroin's probably not something I want my. I mean, if I had kids, I wouldn't want them trying.
I actually read an article the other day talking about heroin use is way up now that
Huge.
they've cut down all the pill mills and they've busted a lot of
Hell
the,
yeah,
lot of
and
the-
it's cheaper.
Well, it makes sense
because
it's
it's
an
gotten
opiate.
cheaper. Now you don't have to go. But you
Yeah.
know what I've also heard recently is
Now,
that
you know what? You
in the
need
state of
heroin to
Florida-
get cheaper. I mean, in this economy,
It's too
economy.
much money, dude. But no, I've also heard for the first time ever, DUI arrests are now more because of drug DUIs than alcohol DUIs.
really.
Yeah.
So they're getting better.
It's over
at,
50% due to like pills mostly.
so
I
they're
would
getting
think.
better at sniffing that out, basically.
Well, testing you. I mean, if you're like sitting there and the cop's like, "Hey, how you doing?" You're like, "Hey, my girlfriend's house is where we went." And he's like, "What?" And you're like, "Yeah, I mean, we was there for a while, and she didn't like what we was doing."
So you're talking about like when Donovan McNabb got pulled over.
Yes.
Remember when we had the audio for that?
Yeah, it was beautiful.
He's like immediately. He's like, "Yeah, I didn't do anything." And he's like, "I'm not even asking you if you didn't anything."
Dude, you're obviously worried.
But while we're talking about pot, real quick before the break here, imagine you're living in a home, and all of a sudden you hear this crash in the middle of the night. Bill and Maya Donnelly, that's what happened to them. It was early morning hours on a Tuesday night last week. They live in Nogales, which apparently their home is like literally 1,000 yards from the Mexican border. Now, I'm assuming you probably hear quite a few odd noises when you live 1,000 yards from the Mexican border. I'm surprised they even still live there. I mean, talk about being stubborn. I mean, I would have moved a long time ago because that's awfully close.
What's
to,
that property cost an acre?
I can't imagine the
$1.
property value is very high, but they heard the crash. Then they went back to bed. If I hear the crash, I'm getting up and checking it out. Apparently, they must, like I
Yeah.
said, must be awfully used to some weird noises. So later in the day, they discover that a bundle of pot fell from the sky, punched a hole in the carport, and crushed their dog's unoccupied kennel.
Now, do you call?
Oh,
What-
ahead.
Did they call the police? Because I wouldn't.
No, they did. Yeah, they
I mean,
reported it. It was 23.8 pounds of pot.
Was
I'd
it
call it-
crappy Mexican weed though?
And
I
they're
mean,
saying it likely fell from an ultralight. Apparently now they're flying these things in ultralights.
I love drug dealers.
I was going to guess that when you said it was 1,000 yards, that maybe it was a catapult.
or a trebuchet.
Yeah.
It was a trebuchet. They're just winging across
Yeah,
the Rio
I
Grande
read-
out here. Here it comes. Bling. You're like, oh,
Pull.
we're using 15th century French technology to get it where you're at. Is it right?
Have you guys ever seen that show? It's on this time of year every year called Punkin' Chunkin'.
Yo, I love it.
Yeah,
I love
maybe
that
they're
show.
making giant air cannons.
Yeah.
To shoot tubes of weed.
Air cannons or trebuchets or maybe one of those bicycle-powered ones with the springs.
Yeah.
Go! I could definitely see a Mexican doing a bicycle. Like, they got like 4 Mexicans cranking down that spring. Like, go,
I want to
go.
see. I want
I
to see.
love
one of those
that
in person.
Punkin' Chunkin' shit.
I want to see one of those big air cannons in person. You ever watch those? They got that. The cannon is what, probably 100 feet long, and they
At
shoot
least,
it,
yeah.
and the whole. It's a giant metal tube, and the whole thing just whips back and forth.
Oh yeah, totally jolts back. And actually,
They got retention
you know what?
cables on them all the
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
with it being the first week of October, hey, we're about to be able to watch a new episode of Punkin'
Woo!
Chunkin'.
I can't wait.
I love that show.
I'm one of my favorites. I watched like 5 hours of that crap and be like, yeah. This is
I was
good.
actually I was telling a coworker of mine about it the other day, and I looked it up on YouTube and sent a video. And in the YouTube, I was scanning through it, and there's actually one from Tampa, and the name of their trebuchet is the Buccaneer.
Oh,
And it's
nice.
the whole
Okay.
Bucks logo.
So every time they think they're going to succeed, it comes up short, right?
Well, no, their whole idea is bend, don't break, and now it's just bend and break right afterwards. Very shortly after you bend, go ahead and break. That's the new Bucks
Very
defense.
shortly, seize the break.
Seize the break. Give up that touchdown. We got what's his name, dude? We're fine, dude.
Oh, Jameis Winston.
No, he's gonna throw many touchdown passes.
Yeah, to the other team.
I mean, he could probably get some free pumpkins from Publix for the Punkin' Chunkin'.
Dude, just be like, oh, that's elephantitis. Nah, I'm not stealing pumpkin.
No, the guy in the produce section said I could have it.
You know who I am? Do you know who I am?
You know who I am.
All right,
My name's James Winston, and my friends Mike Alstott, Mike Evans, and
oh, you're talking about the Bill Curry Ford
I
commercial?
get all my cars from Bill Kerr Ford.
No, that's not how he says. He's like Bill Curry Ford. Bill Curry
No,
Ford.
it's Bill.
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 Oh, that's right.
Bill.
It is Bill.
Bill Curry.
Yeah, Bill.
Love that guy.
All right, well, guys, we're going to jump to a commercial break. When we get back, we've got some Popo news. The police in the news. You don't want to miss that. All you Craniacs, stay with us.
Comrades, are you a wealthy man like myself, afraid to commit to marriage, fearful you wind up in courtroom next to Heather Mills? You work hard all your life, why you should forfeit half of your rubles if it doesn't work out, huh? At Glorious 5-year plan, mail order brides, you will not have to pay arm and leg if marriage crumbles like Soviet Republic. My name is Boris Kuznetsov. I am previous owner of professional KHL hockey team in greatest league in world. During my time as owner of Dimitrov Dictator, I realized some of business principles found in sports could be applied to love life. In Russian KHL, if you invest in players who no longer perform, we let contract expire. We do not do the same in marriage. Why? At Glorious 5-year plan, mail order brides, we arrange union between shrewd single businessmen with eager young women from Eastern Europe. Take the lovely Svetlana from Siberia. This mobile 19-year-old farm girl is ready to please even the most elderly of men for rich Western lifestyle. After 5 years, the contract expire with renewal option. If she keeps icing the puck, she's out of luck, you know what I mean, huh? She don't want to go back to Siberia. It's as cold as walrus nipple. Or how about for you, blonde-haired, blue-eyed Katerina, who is former Soviet gymnast who just got released from corrective labor camp after 10-year sentence for making Russia look like toothless babushka in the 2002 Summer Olympic Games. Imagine what this little tart will do to your balance beam for a taste of Western freedom, huh? At Glorious 5-year plan, we pride ourselves on gorgeous, collective of eligible and desperate women. So why not call me, Boris, at 1-800-RED-WIFE for free consultation. Come, be part of the people's revolution against conventional matrimony. And remember, at Glorious 5-year plan, we might be Russian, but we don't believe in redistribution of wealth. Aye, okay?
Howdy, folks. Billy Boy's back and ready to get you mile high. Thanks for voting, all you Greenleafs, and opening the door for Amendment 64. I am excited to announce to you the grand opening of my top-shelf marijuana boutique and emporium, Commander and Leaf. At Commander and Leaf, we only procure from the choicest fields and botanical masters. From sour diesel to Maui Wowie and candies to space cakes, we have it all. All our confections are created right on site, so come seal the deal and enjoy some Billy Delights. And don't forget to check out my other products, Billy Bags and Bill Doughs, for all my discriminating constituents. I'm Bill Clinton, and I approve these party supplies and toys.
Hey, this is Meatwad, the real star.